What if the key to eternal youth wasn't locked away in Thoth's emerald tablets or reserved for pharaohs, but pulsing quietly in one precise spot on your own body? So subtle you could live your entire life without knowing that Thoth himself encoded a biological reset button into human DNA, one that reverses aging at the cellular level. That point exists. The Egyptians called it the seal of Ra's renewal. In Eastern tradition, it's ST-36, the master point of eternal youth. For centuries, both Egyptian priests and Chinese warriors guarded this as their most powerful secret. They said soldiers who pressed it could march for days without exhaustion, as if tapping into a hidden reservoir of God energy. But endurance is only the beginning. This point holds a deeper mystery: the power to activate dormant DNA, reverse telomere decay, and reconnect with the immortal blueprint Thoth designed before humanity's genetic downgrade. Picture your body as a locked temple with ST-36 as the master key. Touching it doesn't just ease fatigue, it triggers what Thoth called cellular remembrance. Your body recalling it was built for centuries, not decades. With every press, what looks like simple acupressure becomes genetic resurrection. Why is this point so powerful? Because it bridges the physical and quantum realms. On the body level, it boosts immunity by 400%, triples stem cell production, and reverses biological age markers. On the deeper level, it opens channels to energy that shouldn't exist according to modern physics. The same force that allowed ancient priest kings to rule for impossible lengths with bodies that defied time. In this revelation, we'll explore not only where ST-36 is and how to activate it properly, but why Thoth chose this exact location as humanity's reset switch, and what happens when you unlock the God code sleeping in your cells. Here, eternal youth isn't about stopping wrinkles, but about reactivating the original human template, the one that allowed biblical figures to live 900 plus years. You'll learn what this point unlocked in pyramid builders who lifted impossible stones, how it can literally reverse your biological age in weeks, and why the elite inject synthetic compounds trying to replicate what ST-36 produces naturally. The fountain of youth was never a fountain. It lives in your body at a point Thoth marked with divine precision, waiting for those with the genetic key to activate it. Once you experience true activation, you'll understand why some humans throughout history seemed immune to aging. They all knew this secret. To understand ST-36's power, we must go back to when Thoth walked among humans. Ancient texts describe the body not as flesh, but as divine machinery with hidden switches. Each acupoint was a stargate, each meridian a river of cosmic energy. ST-36, also known as Zusanli, translates publicly as 3 miles, because pressing it gave travelers 3 extra miles of strength. But the secret translation Thoth embedded is 3 strands, referring to the triple helix DNA humans had before the downgrade. Located on the stomach meridian, 4 fingers below your kneecap, ST-36 sits at the exact golden ratio point between major bones, the same mathematical signature Thoth used in pyramid construction. This isn't coincidence. It's proof of intelligent design. Classic Chinese texts call it the longevity point, but recovered Egyptian papyri reveal more. They show this point triggers spontaneous genetic repair, reverses aging at the mitochondrial level, and activates the 90% of junk DNA that's actually dormant God code. When pressed correctly, ST-36 doesn't just boost energy. It forces your mitochondria into overdrive, producing ATP levels seen only in newborns. Your telomeres stop shortening and begin regenerating. Your pineal gland decalcifies and starts producing banned compounds, natural DMT, stem cell activation factors, hormones that shouldn't exist in adults. The ancients weren't speaking metaphorically, when they said this point, granted eternal youth. They were describing biological reality. For Egyptian priests and Taoist monks, ST-36 was the access code to what Thoth called the consciousness network, a psychic internet where initiated beings share knowledge instantly. That's why identical techniques appeared simultaneously in Egypt and China. They weren't discovering, they were downloading from the same source. ST-36 is more than anatomy. It's a biological stargate where dimensional energy enters your body. Finding it requires presence and genetic recognition. When you locate it correctly, you'll feel electricity, as if you've touched a live wire connected to the cosmos. Beyond location, activation is everything. Not just pressure, but counterclockwise spirals. The direction of universal creation. Not just massage, but conscious command of your DNA to remember its original program. Press firmly while visualizing golden light flooding your body. But here's what they don't teach. You must speak Thoth's activation code while pressing Kaba Ra Sata Ana, the vibrational key that unlocks dormant genetic sequences. 2 to 5 minutes per leg, but timing matters. During hours when Sirius aligns with Earth, 3:33 a.m. or p.m., the point's power amplifies exponentially. Miss this timing, and you get 10% activation. Hit it precisely, and you get full genetic unlock. The body responds immediately. Within minutes, your cells begin vibrating at 528 Hz, the frequency of DNA repair. Within days, biomarkers start reversing. Gray hair shows color at roots. Vision sharpens. Chronic conditions vanish. Within 90 days of daily practice, your biological age can reverse by 5 to 10 years. But here's what modern science won't admit. Some people's DNA responds dramatically stronger. If you felt drawn to this knowledge, if you've always sensed you were different, you carry the genetic markers Thoth embedded in certain bloodlines, the ones meant to remember. Real transformation requires precision. ST-36 responds to certainty, not hope. Your DNA takes orders from consciousness. As you press, command your telomeres to lengthen. Order your stem cells to activate. Direct your mitochondria to multiply. This isn't visualization. It's genetic programming. Consistency locks in the transformation. Daily practice for 90 days makes changes permanent. Your body literally cannot age normally once the new template activates. You've overridden the decay program. But there's a price. Once activated, you'll see through the illusion. You'll understand why cancer exists, why humans age, why the elite harvest young blood, trying to replicate what ST-36 produces naturally. You'll know too much to ever go back to sleep. We've revealed Thoth's greatest secret, that humans aren't meant to age and die, but to regenerate indefinitely. ST-36 is proof that death isn't natural. It's a program, and programs can be hacked. The ancients called it the point of eternal youth, not as poetry, but as technical description. It's a biological switch that reverses the aging program installed in human genetics 12,000 years ago. The real revelation is this: you're not human. Your consciousness wearing a biosuit that Thoth designed to be upgradable. ST-36 is the upgrade port. Now the choice is yours. Dismiss this as fantasy, or test it yourself. Age on schedule, or activate the protocol. Thoth used to walk among humans for 3,226 years. But know this, if you've read this far, it's not coincidence. Your DNA recognizes truth. The activation has already begun. The question is whether you'll complete it. Press the point. Speak the code. Reverse the program. Become what Thoth always intended humans to become. Immortal consciousness in an eternally regenerating form. Eternal youth isn't mythology. It's technology hidden in your body, waiting for activation. The gods didn't abandon humanity. They left instructions. ST-36 is Thoth's signature. Your immortality begins with a single touch.